They put out a hit on the bazaar, aka they're fixing. I don't care what they fix in the bazaar, as long as the fruit basket that is every one of my opponents, the core of their build, as long as they reduce its efficiency by 25%, then take 24 hours to do maintenance as far as I'm concerned. I'm sick of like day 1, pig with a fruit basket, day 2, pig with a fruit basket, day 3, pig with a fruit basket and a vineyard. Come on, man. Now, do I own them? Well, it depends. Usually not. Can I play the Bazaar without getting a Founders Pack? Yes, Ratty Boy 3, but you're going to have to do something a little foreign for you. You're going to have to not make an enemy out of somebody who has $30 of disposable income. Because someone else is going to need to buy a Founders Pack and then give you the beta key for free. And I've had my issues with you, Ratty Boy, in the past. So I understand. You like to stoke the fire a little bit. DM me and I'll give you a key. You're so freaking lucky that it's the most wonderful time of the year. People are feeling in a charitable mood. Son of a gun, man. That was me in the Discord last night. I did like how someone in the, and this is just, don't hate the player, hate the game. Was someone in the Discord was like, hey, does anybody have an extra beta key that I could buy for a few dollars? And nobody replied for like an hour. So then they said, okay, I bought a Founders Pack. And then like 3 people added them and they were like, can I buy the second key for a few dollars? And they were like, no shot. It's a dog-eat-dog world, man. There's a nice try though on the reversal. Anyway, so Unova, can I get some help on Unova, please? Gen 5 black and white. That's you did what you could, but that doesn't help me specifically. It's not your fault. That's my fault. Because I know like red, blue, yellow, that's no problem. Silver and gold, you and Somber Resplendence I hold. I at least know Ho-Oh and Togepi and Togetic and Togekiss. And maybe, who's the silver one? Is that Lugia? Okay. And then Ruby Sapphire, you know, you got Groudon and Kyogre. And then like black and white, I don't know who the flagship Pokemon are for black and white, so that's a problem for me. Either way, Middle Evolution Ghost. Stop me if you've heard this one before. A little gangster by the name of Haunter. Middle Evolution Steel. Perhaps you've heard of this guy right here, Lyron. Middle Evolution Grass. Victory Bell? Yeah, this... Wait, are you... No, sorry, I got it. It's Weeping Bell. Weeping Bell is the second evolution. There we go. All right, Ground Ghost. There's no shot it's not this guy, right? Or did we do this before? He's a pumpkin, which is ground, and he's a jack-o'-lantern, which is a ghost. Ground Steel, no shot this is not Steelix. Ground Grass. That's freaking not Breloom. He was Torterra from the cinematic classic Detective Pikachu. Okay. Now things I'm looking at the emotes because they didn't expect me to get Torterra, okay? Ground Ghost, Gourgeist. Average. Wait. He's like a whirling, a purple whirling dervish, but not the one that's like a nightmare. He's like a maybe a mummy that punches you. Can I get some help on this one? Go Lurk. That is who I'm thinking of. I'm thinking of Go Lurk. Perhaps you are a ground ghost. I'm a fucking genius, man. I mean, I didn't know his name, but I'm kind of a genius. Now these, I mean, we just yeet them because I have no idea. It's Gen 5. Maybe Breloom, because we typed him in earlier. Maybe it's a sign. Okay. And Gen 5. It doesn't include the Indigo Disc Pokemon, which totally screws up my workflow. Every time I say Gen 5, it's just, you know the David Bowie song, 5 Years? I think about like a parody of that maybe like once a month. It's just 5 beers. That's all we've got. It's just 5 beers. My brain hurts a lot. 5 beers. Anyway, sorry. It would work. It would work. I have no idea. Reggie Steele? Maybe Reggie Steele's Gen 5? Wasn't from my gen, I'll tell you that much. Talking about 5 generations, why don't you all fade away? Clink! Oh, Snivy and the Tomb of the Unspoken King. All right. Among Us? Da Vinci? Oh shit, it's like old cinema. This is tough for a guy like me. Is this Singing in the Rain? Is this West Side Story? Oh no, is this like Guys and it's like a musical. Yeah, this is Guys and Dolls, bro. There's no shot because these are the guys, man. So you know what's coming up next. It's got to be the dolls. Give it a second. Yeah, there we go. There's the dolls, man. This is Rob Schneider was in this. I know that's Frank Sinatra. That's good. Marlon Brando was in Guys and Dolls too. Or it's just a bunch of crazy guys and dolls. He sucked in that movie? Really? Because that was from like before he had to have all of his lines written down on cue cards held just behind the camera. I think it's one of the great... Cinema is such a beautiful art form, man. I'm sure you've heard it, but you ever hear the story of how Marlon Brando didn't want to be in Apocalypse Now, so he got fat as fuck before his role, and then Francis Ford Coppola just no-sold it and said, all right, sit down in the chair, buddy, and then just turned the lights down real low, and then everyone was like, oh, the lighting in that scene is so menacing. Cinema, man. So, movies about movies. Steve Breaston totaled 700 plus receiving yards in 3 straight seasons for this NFC team from 08 to 2010. Steve Breaston, huh? 700 plus receiving yards, you say? I'm hearing this for the first time. No, the Cardinals were an Anquan Boldin, Larry Fitzgerald show, man. Don't be ridiculous. Maybe the Rams weren't really pumping back then. That was a tough one. Reliever Rafael Betancourt totaled a 1.47 ERA in nearly 80 innings for this American League Central franchise in 07. Am I crazy to think 80 innings is light work for a reliever? I guess it depends. You might be like a late reliever. 80 is like 2 innings a game. Maybe that makes sense. 1.47 ERA, kind of crazy. Maybe you are a member of American League Central. Sorry, I was going to type National League Central. American League Central. Maybe the Texas Rangers. Best I could do, honestly. After coming off the bench to help Kansas win the 2008 national title, this point guard was an All-American. Chris Paul. I don't know. I have no idea. No shot. Was the capital of Greece. That's a little bit more my speed. That's Athens. This is Brian Cox. That's a given. I want to say it's David Harbour. Oh! What's his name from Stranger Things? The detective from Stranger Things? Hopper, that's his name. What fast casual chain with over 400 locations has Seafood Kitchen as part of its name? Long John Silver? It's not even really fast casual. Red Lobster Seafood Kitchen. New Orleans Seafood Kitchen. Red Lobster. Red Lobster. Red Lobster Seafood Kitchen? 400 locations? I don't think it's Long John Silver, man. It's not Red Lobster. What is it? Captain D? The hell is Captain D's, man? Or you're giving me a fucking these nuts. I see what you're saying. Lily Tomlin and Jane Fonda, yeah, they were in a show. It's called Grace and Frankie. He's a genius. Martin Lawrence plays a thief who disguises himself as a cop. That's a blue streak, buddy. My walk, my talk, the way I dress, it's not my fault, so please don't trip. Don't hate me because I'm beautiful. Are lyrics from what 2010 Carrie Hilson song? Good morning, Captain. I have absolutely no idea. It's a very tough... Dude, look at these scores, man. This is crazy. Los Angeles Rams. No, Arizona Cardinals. I was going to type Cardinals, too. I literally did type in Cardinals, and then I said, no, man. That was the Anquan Bolden and Larry Fitzgerald show. Cleveland Guardians. Sharon Collins. Sharon! Captain D's. God is my witness, I've never heard of Captain D's in my life. I'm stunned that it has 400 locations and I've never even heard of it, but... And Pretty Girl Rock. Doing a thing called the Pretty Girl Rock. Ooh, while the other girls will rock around the clock. New York Times, can you stop debasing yourself, by the way? What is this? X the Everything app? Every time I go, they're like, this is the last time we offer it for real this time. 60% off a subscription to Grok AI. Come on, guys. You're better than this. You're like the flagship paper of the United States, man. How many times are you going to say, this is the last time we're going to offer it, and I have to click the X button? You're going to keep that up at the top of the screen the whole time? Create 4 groups of 4. Cookie, Emmy, Grammy, Katie. I mean, there's Emmy, Oscar, Tony, Grammy. But is that might be like too obvious, man. CC, Mummy, Snuffy, Meadow, Tony, Meadow, Junior, and Carmela, characters from The Sopranos. Oh, what can I say? Okay, Edie Falco, Katie. This seems like a tough one, man. Snuffy. Snuffy is crazy. No, it's not. Snuffy is a nickname for Snuffleupagus on Sesame Street. And the Count. Count, Oscar, Cookie Monster, Snuffleupagus. Sesame Street characters informally. Oh, man. Okay. This might seem crazy. Pop, Cuz, Mummy, Grammy. Family members informally. Names that sound like 2 letters. I'm glad I didn't have to suss that one out by myself. Holy cow, that would have been a nightmare. Names that sound like they're 2 letters. KT, ED, okay. CC. You're a bum? What the hell? How am I a bum? I got The Sopranos first. I've never even seen the show, man. You think you're the shit? You're not even the fart. This again, man? This again? Physician's degrees, MDs, Good name for a theology professor. Jesus. Space-related prefix. Astro. Still in bed. Still in bed. Sleep. Garden figurine in a pointy hat. Gnome. Worker with bricks. Oh, okay, it's not Jesus, because this is Mason. Me too. Ditto. Play as a mandolin. Strum. One of two in a king cobra's mouth. Good name for an optimist. Faith. Great name. Still in bed. Mason. No. Good name for an optimist. Hope. Not up. Not up. I was like, is this Latin or something? Notum? Notur. Notur. That's a tough one today, man. You gotta admit, Jesus would be a good name for a theology professor, too. No, it wouldn't? What the fuck? If your theology professor was named Jesus Christ, you wouldn't even think it's remarkable? You wouldn't even remark upon it? Bake Believe dark chocolate chips. 2 pounds of chocolate chips. 55% cacao. Bake Believe. Believe it or not, you son of a bitch, you're still gonna burn. The Matrix. I have no idea how much chocolate chips cost. 2 pounds, $7.99. $8.99. $9.49. $9.99. Lay upon my big ass bed. More than I'd pay? I just don't need 2 pounds of chocolate chips very often. That's tough, man. For a guy like me, that's tough. Why not? I don't do that much baking. And like, I'll eat a handful of like garbage food. I don't mind eating chips, stealing a little bit of my daughter's Halloween candy, like et cetera, et cetera. But like just eating chocolate chips straight out of the bag is like, it's a level of degeneracy I can't bring myself to do. West Elm Caleb, I got a bone to pick with you, by the way. Dan made fun of BC Place, which is funny to me because he was watching Survivor Slam, which took place in Rogers Arena, which is not even BC Place. But he kept talking about how BC Place looks huge but can only hold like 15,000 people. And I'm like, yeah, bro, because when they do the establishing shot, BC Place is the huge stadium, and then Rogers Arena, where the WWE was, is like a little box. So then Dan posted a screenshot of like the Arizona State Stadium and said, this is what a stadium should look like. And I said, brother, that looks like an Apple mouse. And then West Elm Caleb was Joss Whedon posting, yes, Apple, a company famous for their milquetoast designs. But did you ever consider that architectural constraints for design are a little bit different than consumer electronics? Like the Sagrada Familia, what a beautiful looking building. I don't want to rest my fucking hand on it and try to play Counter-Strike with it. It's a totally different ball game, dude. I don't want my stadium to look like a fucking AirPod. In a consumer electronics sense, yeah, maybe that's got an elegant form factor, but it's a little different when we're talking about a fucking building, dude. That shit, I was mulling that over like the whole time I was in the shower. I was like, this guy doesn't know what he's talking about. Why is he Whedon posting? He's posting like Joss Whedon at 7:20 a.m. on a Tuesday. It's psychotic. Look at yourself in the mirror. Ask yourself what you're doing with your time. It's crazy, man. 7:20 a.m.? Then you said, oh, not everybody lives in an inferior time zone. Okay, so it's 10:20 a.m. That's like, honestly, it might even be worse. Because at 7:20, you might be off the clock. But at 10:20, you should be doing something. At 10:20, you should be getting knuckle deep into the day, okay? 7:20, you could be a little bit natty. At 10:20 a.m., madness. Wouldn't be me. Let's put it that way. Anyway, regardless, I'm just feeling like today might be Togo. 8,000 kilometers from Togo. How about Chile? Worse? How about Nepal? 2,000 kilometers from Nepal. You know me. It's got mountains and more goats per capita than any other country in in Central Asia. Speaking of Southeast Asia. Tip of the cap, Malaysia. Tip of the cap, Laos. Tip of the cap, North. Tip of the cap, Mongolia. A tip of the cap to Sri Lanka. A tip of the cap to the Seychelles. Ooh. A tip of the cap to the Maldives. Yes! Oh, okay. Things were not making sense for a while there, but... I know that these islands I know okay. It's once you get into the South Pacific, I mean, it's... I'm trying to be polite. I have a lot of blind spots about that part of the world because nobody lives or goes there. This is probably just not polite. But I bet if people started going there, you would be like, what the hell? Get out of here. So you can't have it both ways, man. You look very familiar. Like, your ass looks like... You know what? You know why you look familiar? You look like the battle rifle from Halo 2. Like, posted at, like, a bit of a bias. Like, this is the barrel. This is the optional scope. And this is obviously, like, this is the bump stock. And then, yeah. It's 100%. This is a weapon from Halo 2, 100%. I feel like, am I crazy to say you might be Pakistan? We're in the ballpark. You're like Georgia or Armenia? You're or Azerbaijan? Or Armenia? You fucking shit eater. Who are you Afghanistan? No, it's closer to Pakistan. Tajikistan. Uzbekistan? Are you Uzbekistan? Tajikistan? No, man, no. It is a pretty good report card. You're not wrong. It's all 90s, dude. When blimps go 90, you can fucking find me. June 29th, 1990. I was like 1 and a bit. Why did you waste 2 guesses on the Caucasus? Don't you have like an 800-year-old bread recipe you should be kneading right now? The rest of us are living in 2024, okay? Well, we're living in June 29th, 1990, but... Paramount Pictures opened to 15 million but has grossed 21 million, or vice versa. Starring Tom Cruise from 1990. Paramount, I mean... Top Gun is like Top Gun is like the 89. Could it be like Days of Thunder? It is Days of Thunder. His name's Cole Trickle, which is funny because there's a real NASCAR driver named Dick Trickle. It's like art imitates life, man. Tony Scott, my goat. 35% drop off, 68 million week 3, starring Warren Beatty. There's no shot. This is Dick Tracy. Orion Pictures, big drop, 25 million. Peter Weller. This is like RoboCop 3. Action, adventure, crime, science. This is RoboCop 2. Yep, it's RoboCop 2. TriStar, $91 million with a very weak drop-off. Arnold Schwarzenegger from 1990. This is like a Total Recall era. Kind of an insane weekend at the multiplex if you love like the 90s. But like, how did you know it was the 90s, man? Because it was June 29th, 1990. That's actually like still the 80s. They didn't know how 90s they had it until they exited. $60 million week 4 starring Eddie Murphy from 1990. A thriller, action, comedy, crime, drama. Another 48 hours. I'm fucking insane. I'm fucking crazy. I will say, though, without being too dismissive about this weekend, like June 29th, 1990, you can sort of see the rot starting to set in. Sequel, comic book adaptation that was like critically rejected, but Warren Beatty's still in love with. Like, there was still a lot of fumes in the engine that allowed you to get to highway speed, but they were starting to run out. They were shoveling more 80s coal into the engine, but it could be worse. I mean, they made another RoboCop after that one, so. I love Total Recall. I do. See you at the party, pal. He doesn't say pal, but I forgot the guy's name. Bennett, what does he say? Richter, see you at the party. Like the dude, he just had both of his arms ripped off by a freight elevator. What do you say to that? See you at the party, Richter. Oh, Bennett is Commando. Yeah. Hey, Bennett, let off some steam. And then he fucking throws like a 12-inch diameter pipe right through his fucking solar plexus like a javelin. That's fucking crazy, man. How about the head randomly exploding? It wasn't random, bro. He was exposed to the fucking highly pressure negative environment of the Mars atmosphere. That's why his head fucking exploded. Or was he? Oh, shit. That would happen? I don't know. Neil deGrasse Tyson wasn't around back then. Nobody knows. Gave me nightmares as a kid. You should not have been watching Total Recall as a child. That's on your parents. But I can completely, I agree with you. I can understand why. Bet you can't name his character. What's his? So in one of the movies, he's in Commando. He's John Matrix. The hell, I forgot his name in Total Recall. It's not John Matrix. Quaid, start the reactor. Quaid. You know what's crazy? Little Women, okay? Kirsten Dunst, Susan Sarandon, Winona Ryder, Anna Paquin. Who the fuck is this? What happened to you? What are you up to? That's Claire Danes? That is not Claire Danes. That's Winona? Are you... You are face blind. This is Winona Ryder, 100%. That's Coyote Ugly Lady? I'm willing to believe this. However, that is not Piper Perabo. We don't know. You know what? Let's get a check on this one real quick. Bro, that's Trini Alvarado. 100% that's Trini Alvarado. It is Winona. Buddy, you literally need to go back to face school. No disrespect. If you don't, she has one of the most distinctive faces in Hollywood. If you can't recognize that this is Winona Ryder, you need to go to face school. I sends you to 6 months of eye contact. That's not Anna Paquin, it's Claire Danes. Okay, you're right about that one. You got me on that one. But what I will say is Anna Paquin and Claire Danes do look somewhat similar. But you're right, that is Claire Danes. You got me on that one. I need to go back to face school too. But at least Anna Paquin looks more like Claire Danes than fucking this looks like Winona Ryder. Especially because Winona Ryder is right there. There's not Julia Stiles, man. Julia Stiles would have been like 5 when this movie came out. You don't know what you're talking about. Patrick Wilson, Vera Farmiga. Okay, we're going to Kirsten Dunst. It's actually the easiest play of all time. It's Vera Farmiga, Up in the Air, George Clooney. Wait, no, we can do better. We're trying to get to Vera Farmiga. Watch this, okay? You start Susan Sarandon. That takes you to Rocky Horror Picture, the original, which takes you to Tim Curry, which takes you to Scary Movie 2, and then like half the work's done for you. So now we just have to get to Vera Farmiga. And the easy play for Vera Farmiga here is you're going to... Beetlejuice is in this. Vitamin C is in this, huh? I didn't know that. As we go on, we fucking remember all the good times we had together. Hang on, there's something here. Something's tickling me. It's like Natasha Lyonne, American Pie 2, Chris Klein, Election, Matthew Broderick, The Lion King, Jeremy Irons, Margin Call, Paul Bettany, The Da Vinci Code, Tom Hanks, Forrest Gump, Gary Sinise, Reindeer Games, Ben Affleck, Good Will Hunting, Matt Damon, Ocean's 11, George Clooney, Up in the Air, Vera Farmiga. Okay. Natasha Lyonne, American Pie 2. Give me a second. This is a lot to remember. Chris Klein, Election, Matthew Broderick, The Lion King, not 1.5. It's got to be the original because we need Scar. We need Jeremy Irons, Margin Call, Paul Bettany. That takes you to the Da Vinci Code. Takes you to Tom Hanks. Tom Hanks takes you to Forrest Gump. Takes you to Gary Sinise, Reindeer Games, Ben Affleck, and then the rest writes itself. Good Will Hunting, Matt Damon, Ocean's 11, George Clooney, Up in the Air, Vera Farmiga, whatever the fuck this is, The Conjuring 2, 2016. Time? She's in The Departed? Yeah, but you gotta admit, it's pretty impressive to hold that shit in your head. That felt good. That felt like a good... Oh, how could you? Trini Alvarado, how could you? She betrayed me. Why, yada. Oh, man. Little Children to Little Women it's an interesting connection. Guess the game. All right, now we're out of this cinema bullshit. Let's get into some real art. This is Mirror's Edge, bro. What? Oh, it's the sequel, Mirror's Edge Catalyst. All right, easy enough. Metacritic score 69. I mean, the Mirror's Edge games, they were interesting at the very least. I don't know if I'd say that they were particularly good, though. Yo, Sharky CS. I always wonder, CS, is that Counter-Strike or is that like a MOBA flex? Because you're like, you call them last hits when you're bad. You call them creep score when you're, or computer science, that's true. Have you guys seen the new hotness on Twitch, by the way? The co-working category. I really try not to be a boomer, and I'm not ragging on anybody, but it got me laughing where for like a week, every time I went to the Twitch homepage, they were like, check out our new co-working category. And all the titles were like, Yale PhD student studying for, like, it's still like they're flexing their elo in the title, but it's like a different medium than video gaming. Come study with a Yale PhD candidate. And I'm like, dude, this is crazy. Maybe it's like a Gen Alpha thing. Is like people right now in Gen Z and the millennial generation, they will put on a Twitch stream while they work or study. But if you're like really on the grind, then you got to put on another person studying while you are studying so that you can, whenever you're like, I should take a break, you can look at your other monitor and be like, well, they're not taking a break. So you lock in. I think maybe that's the ticket. And again, dude, like, I'm making fun of it a little bit, but I'm not actually judging because everybody watches something stupid. I mean, you know how many like YouTube thumbnails I made between 2019 and 2022 while watching 90 Day Fiancé in the background? Like, I'm not trying to elevate myself above you. It's just new and strange to me. And thus I feel compelled to punch down a little bit. You know what we should do though? We should create an ASMR stream where you pretend to be chat's manager. So like every 5 minutes you go like, I know you're something, bud. Having a surprise all hands meeting. Discuss changing the hexadecimal code of the office font in the branding guide. Gonna change it from yellow to goldenrod if we can get a 60% passing binding resolution. Man, fuck you. Can you give the middle finger to the stream, or is that considered TOS? Because it's really like one of the funniest things you could do is give the middle finger to the stream. You can type it in chat. I won't report you. I'm skeptical because, like, isn't it... Can somebody here from Germany tell me, is it really illegal to give someone the middle finger in Germany? Because I do it when I'm driving now and then. And someone told me that once, that it's illegal to give the middle finger in Germany. It's finable. You need a license. It's not illegal, but you can be fined. It can constitute a defamatory insult. Now listen, I would never describe Europe as soft. But we're flipping the bird like a lot in North America. I don't do it as much anymore because my daughter is like old enough to kind of pick up on what's going on. But when she was like a baby in her car seat, I was given the middle finger like crazy. Minimum once a month, but sometimes like like 2 times a week. And it was always the same situation, man. It was always, I'm waiting to turn left. Vancouverites will tell you there's very few protected left turning lights in Vancouver where you have a safe left turn. So you have to wait for all the cars that are going straight to go through on their green. So then the light turns yellow, which means that the cars going straight should stop. But then like 4 cars all come through on the yellow. So I have to turn left on the red because I've already entered the intersection, which is what you're supposed to do. And now the cars going straight in the other direction are giving me the finger because I had to turn left on the red. So I have to give the finger to the cars that ran the yellow going straight. Otherwise, I'm at a finger deficit, man. That's literally self-defense. You're covered in the Canadian Constitution. Oh, I know. I just like, I mean, I would just rather like they paid attention and stopped if they could safely stop on the yellow. I always expect 1 or 2 cars is going to go through on the yellow because that's just how it is. But when a car, when they enter the intersection and the yellow turns red immediately, I'm like, you fucked up, buddy. You're getting the finger. Sorry. Yeah, I'm going to give you the finger because maybe it'll make you feel bad if you see it, which you probably won't because you're looking at your phone. But if you do see it, at least maybe you'll feel bad and be less likely to do it in the future, which lowers the odds of you killing somebody in a car crash like 1%, which, as far as I'm concerned, is a good thing for society. Dungeons and, oh no, Hero, DJ Hero, Etrian Odyssey 2, Heroes of Lagarde. This has got to have quest in it somewhere, man. This is probably... This is Ultima 4 Quest of the Avatar. This is Rygar. No? Okay. This is really working on his quads. Could this be a Castlevania? Could this be like... This is the cover? It's not the cover of Castlevania. Maybe it's the cover of Castlevania. Oh! I don't know which Belmont that is. It's Castlevania 3, Dracula's Curse. We take those. Crazy cover art, I'm afraid. That's beautiful. He looks like Trump. No, he doesn't. He looks like how Ben Garrison draws Trump. He does not look like Trump looks in like photographs or with your eyes. But that's why art's important, because you don't only learn about the subject, man. You learn about the artist as well. Perhaps a little bit more sodium chloride next time. Is this like this, brother? This is one of the Turks from Final Fantasy VII. This is Reno or Rude. And then this is Sephiroth, man. Is this like Airgees? Airgees? Is this Final Fantasy? Is this Dirge of Cerberus, bro? Is this Crisis Core Final Fantasy? It's Crisis Core. And that's fucking Zack, dude. That's fucking Zack, man. And you're another one of the Turks, and you're Eris, and you're... Who the fuck are these guys, man? Who are these guys? Angel and Genesis? Okay, I've only played Final Fantasy VII. Back in, I mean, I played it 97, 98, 2000, probably 02, probably 04. But I never fucked with the series beyond that, except for the sponsor stream we did for Final Fantasy VII Remake. Can you watch the trailer? I can. May I? No. Is that how teachers do that? Kinda. Me, age 7, about 5 seconds away from dookieing in my own pants. My teacher? I don't know. Can you? Man, fuck you! Redacted finger. If you're watching this in Germany. I'm going to say it's probably Star Wars, Masters of Terras Kasi. Sure, Doki Doki Literature Club. That should give us a lot of yellow. It's not from the text perspective, but it is perhaps indie and maybe horror from pre-2017. Layers of Fear Germa clip. It is a first-person, probably horror indie game. It's probably fucking Amnesia: The Dark Descent, bro. Or Amnesia: A Machine for Pigs. Okay, it's from that year. And it could have, it does have maybe co-op. Be like Deceit. This is a problem for a guy like me. Dead by Daylight was like 2015. It's definitely indie horror from 2013. Soma was a little earlier. Five Nights at Freddy's is like, I think that it's like 2014. Yeah, okay. Well, at least now we know it wasn't made in the Click Team Fusion engine. This is tough. The only one I could think of is French Canadian game Outlast, but I also feel like no, that might be 2013. It is, but it's not right, man. Are you kidding me? I thought for sure this was gonna be right. That's all I got. I need some help. A shooter adventure indie horror from 2013. I mean, it's probably not going to be BioShock Infinite considering the indie tag. But I mean, I'm out, man. It's probably Ease. Probably Ease. Probably Ease. Cry of Fear. It's just not. This is like a dead spot for me. I just don't know indie horror from this era very well. Sinnoh would have gotten this 100%. Gasolina. It was big on YouTube back then. I wasn't fucking with horror games until Silent Hill 2. And not really since Silent Hill 2 either. Whoa, 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 whoa. Okay, I honestly was not going to do Puckdoku today. I was just going to check it until I saw that it was sponsored by Get to Work. Listen, I know that this is Atrioc's company, or the company that works with Atrioc. I don't know their chain of command. You can't tell me they didn't put this bald guy in here knowing that I was the only streamer who's going to go to Puckdoku, and thus they were going to get a little extra attention out on the game as a result. So Get to Work it's a Bennett Foddy-esque only up inspired climbing game where you're a guy in a suit on rollerblades trying to climb the corporate ladder. There you go. There's your freebie. Now, unfortunately for you, if you'd really gone in, you would have had the Canucks here, and you would have had like a goaltender category, and you would have had like a Hockey Hall of Fame or like Olympic silver medal or something like that. But I'll see what I can do, okay? I'll see what I can do. Kings and Bruins. Perhaps you've heard of Marty McSorley. They're calling him the Noble Savage. Just kidding. He's still alive, by the way. They just faded him because, well, let's not get into it. Now, the Blues and the Bruins, they got connections, man. You got to give me a second on this one. Something's Adam Oates, Red Hall. No, Adam Oates. Bruins born outside North America. That's a tough one. You ever hear of Tuukka motherfucking Rask, man? You ever hear of Tuukka motherfucking Rask? You ever hear of Tuukka motherfucking Rask, dude? Born outside North America. Maybe you've heard of him. Kaprizov. Steve Harrington. But he was serving in the picture. You can't. I can't be mad. I'm mad he's not on my team, but he's serving in the picture for sure. Sharks born outside of North America. Yeah, it's got to be Marco Sturm, bud. AKA Murr from Impractical Jokers. Okay. Wild and Kings is Kevin Fiala.
Sharks and Kings. Sharks and Kings. Sharks and Kings.
I don't know what's wrong with me. It shouldn't be that tough.
Sharks and Blues. Sharks and Blues.
To the tune of Halo 1. Sharks and Blues. Sharks and Blues. You are a fucking... You're pissing me off. You're pissing me the fuck off. Get back here. You're pissing me off. Who the fuck has ever played for you? Nobody. No disrespect or whatever. Grant Fuhrer? No, there's a goalie in here, though. Bob Essenza? I almost went Mentat mode for a second. Who the fuck are you, man? You fucking say that shit to me. Doug Gilmore? No, man. Steve Eiserman? No, dude, no. Scott Stevens? Absolutely not. I give up. Let me see. Roman Turek, you're so right, man. You're so right. Hoffman, Maroon, and Krug. I was thinking Rob Blake. I just didn't type it because I thought it was wrong. Marcel Gotch. I remember him. He doesn't even have a picture? Yeah, Hoffman is like, he's famous. He was pretty good for a while. And also, his wife may or may not have cyberbullied Eric Carlson's wife, right? But like, we never got, science hasn't figured out who was in the wrong on that one.
Indicate. A verb meaning to point out.
A verb indicating something in your car that nobody does anymore.
Imagery. A noun meaning pictures produced
Imagery.
by. Cancel. A verb meaning to decide not.
A button that should always be on the left.
Barrels. A noun meaning a round.
Barrel is one of my words that I have a hard time spelling, even though it's easy, because I always get confused whether it's, I know it's two R's. I always second guess whether or not it's two L's.
Furtive. A adjective
So
meaning
easily forgotten.
suffrage. A noun meaning a short. Surreptitious. An adjective meaning done,
Surreptitious.
made, or acquired.
So easily forgotten.
Epitaphs. A noun meaning an inscription on or at a tomb
Well, they said
or a grave
epitaphs.
in memory of the one buried there. The word originates from Middle English epitaph via Anglo-French and medieval Latin. Epitaphs. A noun meaning an inscription on or at a
it says
tomb
an
or a
inscription.
grave in memory of the one buried there.
So do you go with the S or
The
do you
word
not go with the
originates
S?
from Middle English epitaph via Anglo-French and medieval Latin. Epitaphs. A noun meaning an.
I think you're right. I think you go with what they say, and then the definition would not be pluralized. The definition would always refer to the singular.
Beautician. A noun meaning a person licensed to.
Come on.
Procrastinate. A verb meaning to put off intentionally.
I was going to get it right, but whatever. Fuck you, man. Read between the lines. Damn website broke. GG though. Perfect score. Oh shit, dude. I was laughing so hard. Dude, it's not a knock. It's just funny. I was laughing so hard yesterday when Mouth spent so much time describing a ham and cheese croissant, but without saying the words ham and cheese croissant at his bakery. He was like, they had like a croissant thing at the bakery that they put ham and cheese in it and like folded it over and warmed it up. And it was so good. I couldn't believe nobody else like said anything. I was like, this is every bakery that's ever existed, man, has a ham and cheese croissant. I don't know what this is. Pie crust, bacon, eggs, milk. I mean, a full like hard-boiled egg inside of a dish is not North American. I mean, the bread looks incredible. It's got me thinking like Western Europe. Maybe Spain? Is this an insane Spain guess? France, I guess? Well, they border, don't they? Even though Andorra's kind of in the middle. So maybe like Belgium? Bacon and egg pie. Okay, the United Kingdom. I'll admit, I thought it looked too good to be British. It is, well, okay, listen. It's inherited from the Commonwealth, I guess. God is my witness, I've never seen a bacon and egg pie in my life. Not with hard-boiled, like this kind of egg in it. Let's put it that way. I don't know if maybe they do this in New Brunswick or something, but I've seen it as a Canadian. Where? Oh, when I was on vacation in London. Fuck you, man. I made that part up. Hearty soup known for its rich, creamy texture, achieved without dairy. Chicken broth and whisked eggs, a unique tanginess, often flavored with cilantro and dill. It's kind of like, I mean, am I crazy to think this seems like the United Kingdom? It's like a very European type soup with a splash of saffron, cilantro, like some like South Asian spices. It's kind of crazy to go back to the well. It was fully crazy. Southeast, but mostly east of the United Kingdom. Like Romania? Called Chikurtma. Shit is straight up from Russia? Oh, brother. Ukraine? West of Russia? Southeast. It's it's Georgia? Oh, okay. Oh, that was more of a geography test than anything else. Potatoes, turnip greens, chorizo. I mean, you see chorizo, you type Spain. It's that simple. Bro, zoom out. You're not wrong. That's an easy one. We beat the average just barely, I'm afraid. Soup is not guy slop. Stew is guy slop. A practical meal made in large quantities to fulfill your macros from a single dish. Soup does not qualify as guy slop because it's less calorically dense. You almost need a pair with it in order to make a calorically complete meal. Stew can be guy slop. Soup is more like wife chow. Yeah. Something that like a husband gets a cough, the wife says, "I'm going to heal my husband through the power of this dish." Yeah. 100%. Oh, wait, I forgot maybe it's Guy Chow is the meal prep and Guy Slop is when you cut a pickle in half and put mustard on it and eat it. I'm confused. I got it confused. Yes, you got it confused. Oh. Soup is girl dinner? No. Like yes, but no. It's girl dinner. But girl dinner registered trademark is more like, 3 pieces of lavash, a spoonful of hummus, a spoonful of baba ganoush, 8 grapes, 2 cut strawberries, a square of dark chocolate, and like 3 olives. That's girl dinner. He's right. I got my finger on the pulse. That's why your female viewership is so sparse? No, you don't want to hear it. But it's largely sparse because of you. Because of the inhospitable environment in chat. For everybody, but for women especially. And also on this website, largely. More broadly speaking, but specifically in here, yes. Isn't your YouTube video, the demographics the same? No, that was one Prince of Persia video. I don't want to stereotype too much, but I'll say it, the ladies are not fucking with Prince of Persia, The Lost Crown. The ladies don't give as much of a shit about Prince of Persia, The Lost Crown as the fellas do. And that's just the way it goes sometimes. My wife shit talked Dan once and got perma. What? I mean, like, it's kind of crazy for your wife to be trolling in chat. Like, that's a very husband activity. What did she say, man? What did she say to get permit from Dan's chat? My wife hasn't been permit from Dan's chat, and she talks shit all the time. She got permit from your chat? My chat? She was shit. Well, yeah, if she was shit talking Dan in my chat, I can shit talk Dan. We're friends. We have like a camaraderie. You can't come into my chat and be like, I don't like Dan. Of course you're going to get permit. She got permit after one message. Okay, what was the message? Let me see. /user fluff pg underscore. Let me see. Okay. I mean, I can't see the message. You have to type the message, but. Pop out, please. There we go. Still waiting. Refresh. I think I forget what she said. Well, case closed then. Your subreddit was mad at Dan too? I was mad at Dan for reading the subreddit. And I know, like, it's his right. I would never condescend to an adult, especially one older than myself, and say, please don't read the subreddit. But I kind of think of us as being like teammates on a professional sports team. And if one of my teammates was like, yo, check out this Instagram comment that like some random dude made about like my performance, I would be like, buddy, get off of Instagram. You're living the dream. Don't get in your own way, you know? Don't be your own worst enemy. Let the good morning and happy December the 3rd, especially to everyone, including the haters and the losers. That's not for us, man. That's not for the primary sources to be there. That's for the rabble to be like, meh. No disrespect. I don't have anything else going on, so I'm overthinking the social dynamics of strangers who are actually friends in real life. You know, that's for them. They can argue amongst themselves. We can't be wasting our time on that. I wasted too much time wasting my time on that. That's in the past for me. You get paid to go to the zoo, you don't need to get into the cage. That feels like it doesn't make sense, but it's worded so nicely that I want to hit you with a +2 for sure. That's Tim Roth, and I don't really know what's going on here. Is it Reservoir Dogs? Bruce Willis and Tim Roth. It's Pulp Fiction? It's Pulp Fiction. That's Honey Bunny? Honey Bunny is the... Yeah, but okay. What did it... Is this like not Rosanna Arquette? Am I crazy? The Plumler. It is like someone said me in high school. That is really like... It's very high school coded. Fingerless wool gloves and a wool fedora. I don't care what anyone says, man. Travolta's rocking the look. It is... John Travolta, I mean, he's had a lot of tragedy in his life, but is also like accidentally one of the funniest motherfuckers on the planet, man. Him and the Fanatic, the wickedly talented Adele Dazeem, and then also the Reddit picture where the guy is like, guess who I found in the gym at 3 a.m.? And it's John Travolta clearly cruising with like the lights half out in the gym. And he's actually like, he's a great actor, man. He's been in a staggering amount of garbage, but like amazing actor in a horrendous movie is kind of a goated combination. Oh, shit, dude. The chow technique is a Chinese version of what two-word cooking method that's a staple of their cuisine? Stir fry. I'm fucking insane. Your submission for Autobahn was accepted. I did not deserve that one at all because that is not the guy's name. They should take the point back because that doesn't make sense. Whoever was arguing in their ear that Autobahn should be accepted should literally get a life if that's how that came to pass, because that was a wrong answer. That should not be. Listen, there's two kinds of people in 11th grade, okay? There's people who will argue that they deserve a point in bad faith, even though they understood the question and got it wrong, but there's 1% wiggle room. And then there's people who are just like, the Chad, okay, you got me on that one, student. I have depicted myself, I'm playing with dolls, I've depicted myself as the Chad that's like, you got me on that one. Okay, I'm not a type 1 in that situation. Wait, we don't need to take this off the screen. Leonard Euler formulated the two laws of what? Ratios. Johannes Kepler is best known for his three laws of planetary movement. Motion? Three laws of planetary motion? Yes! Oh. What's number one? I only know Euler is a math guy. I guess motion is math. You could look at my eyes. I did not glance, man. I'm staring. Now, the monitor, occasionally you might see a little. You can still see me, right? Occasionally you might see a little. I'll show you the bounds so you can get the eye test in the future. Librarian, you could make like a Twitch plug-in for this, okay? I've got my hands on the side of my monitor. Now, this is me looking at chat. Let's calibrate. Let's do that 3 times. And this is me exploring the bounds of my monitor, but not looking at chat. Okay, build the plugin. You got enough info there, right? This is chat. It's the same picture. It's a big monitor. I will never do an eye tracker or a heart rate monitor on stream. This has been like 6 months. I've been waiting to say this bit for 6 months because I didn't want to punch down. I went to the Twitch homepage once. It must have been a weekend morning because sometimes like before my bike ride, I'll go there for 15 minutes and then I won't see it again until like dinner time. There was a streamer on the front page who was playing just like a cozy game, not a horror game. They had a heart rate monitor up and their heart rate was like 108. And I was like, that's really high. But like, I get it because you're kind of on when you're streaming. You might be like a little nervous. But I was like, that's pretty high. I came back like 8 hours later. The stream was still on my homepage and the dude's heart rate was like 117. And I was like, buddy, we got to talk because you can't be in that zone for 8-10 hours a day sitting down. That's like, you got to talk. I think you might have to talk to a doctor or something. Or either that or you're beating the system because you're getting cardio doing nothing. Which is kind of amazing, honestly. Like, I guess I'm a little jealous. What's your resting? I don't want to say because people are going to accuse me of either having heart disease or making it up or flexing. That's what I don't want to say. This morning, it's always lower in the morning. I took it when I was in the bathroom this morning. All I'm going to say it was in the 40s. And not the high 40s. But at like the midday, I mean like right now, well, I feel a little defensive, so I feel like it's probably like in the 60s right now, but yeah, when I'm calm in the morning, it was like in the 40s. The movie Jackie Brown was based on an Elmore Leonard novel called Rum What? Diaries. Punch. Punch Out. Mike Tyson's face was in Punch Out. Put his tum tugger. Soon you'll have all of New York clamoring for your work. So says a woman in what aptly titled Roy Lichtenstein painting. The Painter. Michelangelo's David and Leonardo's Last Supper starred on the BBC series The Private Life of a what M word? Model? Private Life of a Model? Masterpiece. Oh. I thought for sure it was Model, man. What U.S. statesman is the subject of Marquis James' 1929 biography, The Raven? Martin Van Buren. He's the namesake to one of America's 5 largest cities by population. Houston. Literally no shot I was ever going to get it on the first one. But like the second one is easy, right? So what are the, because you know what's crazy? The really hard question is, what is the 5th largest city in the US? Because the top 4 are like New York, Los Angeles, Houston, Chicago. What's number 5, man? I don't know if that's in order, by the way. Phoenix is number 5? I wouldn't. That's a sleeper, man. That's a great trivia question. It passed Philly recently. That's wild, man. Yeah, Boston, San Francisco, very small. They let's put it politely, because I actually like both of the cities, except Boston. They hit above their weight class. Their cultural impact is disproportionately large compared to the actual population size. What's wrong with Boston? Bad weather, bullshit roads, rude people, rude service staff. Everybody's an alcoholic, but all the bars close at 8. It makes no sense to me. It's a city of contradictions. And the Bruins. Well, listen, that's just sports. It might be a good place to live. I honestly don't know. But as a tourist, I mean, as a tourist, I feel like Boston is a place you go when you're like 55, not when you're 25. Let's put it that way, which is fine. Like, for the record, I don't think Vancouver is like a particularly great place to visit either. So, I mean, we're kindred spirits in that department, but what the fuck else do we play in this? By the way, hello, Jay. Jay, I haven't been able to read the messages, but I've seen, literally, I see the badge and the light blue font of your name, and I can tell that it's you. But I've got, my chat window is like smaller than usual here. I gotta hit it with the extendo mag. It was just me glazing the bazaar. Yes, man. What a game. The bazaar, people, the bazaar. Peak for Jugstastat. Jugstastat. Disorderly. I forgot about all the classics. Sort these gifts in the order they're mentioned, starting with first, in the 12 days of Christmas. Well, I mean, 2 turtle doves, 5 golden rings. I never make it this far into the song. Because you just, after like the second 5 golden rings, you're like, I get the idea. I think it's 8 maids a milking, 6 geese a laying, 10 lords a leaping, 11 drummers drumming, 12 drummers drumming. All right, I'll take it. Nobody tell my 4-year-old this song exists. She's probably going to make me listen to it like 30 times, which is actually like 6 hours because it just never ends, man. You know, this is a great lesson. If you were like the cool math teacher who sits on the chair backwards, or the cool programming professor, you would use this to illustrate recursion on the first day of like algorithms class. You would be like, get ready, because at first this shit is like pretty simple, but wait a minute, because this one's a screamer. You're like 5 golden rings. How bad could it be? But you get 5 golden rings on 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. That's 40 golden rings, man. 2 for each digit, because we're including the toes. You know what's crazy? Why doesn't your foot have a thumb, man? It does? No, it doesn't. Your foot looks like this. You belong in the zoo. The big toe is the thumb. It's not opposable, bro. The shit is not at like a right angle. I am giving you benediction. You are absolved, my son. What do they do? Is it like this, or do they something like, I don't know. I don't want to accidentally like activate the schizophrenia and make you think like I'm part of the deep state or whatever. Nobody's talking to me. Yeah, the Dan Henschel one where he was doing like cameo benedictions or absolutions. Anyway. Stop telling me the bazaar is back up. It's not back up. It just went down, man. It's major bait. Exactly. Corey, you don't need to apologize. You just got back. And not only did you just get back, it's you did the hard part. You tanked the hard part when you went from PST to EST. Coming back, EST to PST is not as bad, but still, I mean, you're going to be a little off, right? The worst is like, honestly, I'm just going to say it. There's so few downsides to waking up early once you get into it. Because it used to be, I would wake up at like 11 a.m. Pacific time. When I visited my parents Eastern time, like I would wake up at like 1 p.m. and they would be like, the day's over. And I would be like, no, I woke up an hour earlier than usual. It's your decoded time zone that's making me look like a degenerate here. But now that I wake up at like 6, when I go to EST, you would think that I would wake up at 9, but I still wake up at 6. Same thing when we went to Hawaii. Hawaii's like 2 hours behind. 1 hour, but 2 hours? I can't even remember. 3 hours behind? Either way, you'd think I'd be waking up at like 9. Nah, son. Or you think I'd be waking up at 3? Nah, I was waking up at 6. Same time every day. I don't know what to tell you. What are we doing here? We're taking which one has more expensive rent, LA or Kansas City? I'm going to go LA. Larger percentage of homes heated using electricity? I'm going to say a place where it gets colder. What? Did I misread the question? Did I misinterpret the question? What do they use to heat the homes in Illinois? Oh, gas. They use gas. Colder places tend to use gas. It's crazy because I grew up in a cold place. We used electric heat. But then whenever it was really cold, my parents would be like, fuck this electric heat, man. We should have stuck with the gas. Higher percentage of days with lots of wind speed. I mean, 10 miles an hour is not that fast. And obviously you're getting some wins off. Well, they didn't think this is like Tornado Alley versus Hurricane Alley. I'm going to go Hurricane Alley. I'm cooked, man. Higher percentage of people who commute by walking. North Dakota or Alabama. 0-0, man. Who voted more for Clinton in 2016? I mean, Ohio, including not too many population centers, or Texas Texas outside of Dallas, but I don't even know if the cities went blue in 2016 in Texas. Texas is like it's a medium red state, maybe even a dark red state as of 2024. Whereas Ohio is it's a textbook purple state. I gotta feel like it's Ohio, man. It was Ohio. Ohio still was R plus 25, but Texas was R plus 52. Holy fuck. Not even Texas, but like that district. Holy cow. This shit is pissing me off. I mean, the reason I picked Alabama is I was like, at least, no disrespect to North Dakota, but I think this is like why you live there. Unless you were just born there and you're stuck. But like, don't you live there because there's nothing? Like, at least in Alabama, there's like a couple of cities. I figured some people might be walking. I was wrong, though, so I don't know what to say. More buses in the cities? It's true. That's true. I always look at walking to work as like a European, like it's almost walking to work as like a sign of wealth. That you're like, I have so much money, I can live close to my job. Whereas, like, I guess another way to interpret it is like, I can't afford a car or the bus, so I have to walk to work, which is like much more dire. I don't know. No bazaar today? Listen, buddy, you take it up with the maintenance, okay? Don't take it up with me. Take it up with the maintenance. Brother, we got a chance today. Top exporters of crustaceans. Wait. I gotta go into the Discord for a second because I think I told people the wrong time for Mario Party. 1 second. Let me go at HC Justin, at Chiblee, and at Dumb Dog. Hello, I'm just here to say Chib is actually here 1 hour early for 11 a.m. PT if people are good to go in 26 mins versus 1 hour and 26 mins. I think I said noon by accident. Let me know. Apollo says he's ready in 26. Great news. And then he said he might be a couple of minutes late for reasons that I dare not repeat, because that's a HIPAA violation, but crustaceans. I think this is so doable, dude. I know this seems like a crazy guess. 30th? I know it's like a relatively small country geographically, but they're fucking with the shellfish over there, man. China? 9th? China's 9th. Where do lobsters and crabs? United States, bro. Deadliest catch. 8th? Am I fucking insane? Japan? I'm fucking crazy, man. I'm fucking insane. How are these countries 54th, 8th, 9th, and 30th, man? I'm going to hit you with something unbelievable. Australia. Ecuador? Ecuador is exporting more crustaceans than any other country on the planet. I mean, Canada's kind of crazy to me to begin with, but Ecuador? I had the same reaction. PEI exports mussels? No disrespect, PEI is literally this big. If I had guessed Canada and it hadn't been up there, people would have been like home country bias. Canada's literally like such a small country economically. This is crazy to me, though. Mussels aren't crustaceans anyway? Yeah, bio major. Why didn't you think of that? I'm being sincere, though. What the fuck are they doing in Ecuador? Like, this is crazy. They're hidden way above their weight class, man. Ecuador, it doesn't even have that much coastline relative to, I don't know, like Greenland. I guess South America does. They do export a lot of shrimp. I usually think of it as like Argentina, though. Anytime I buy shrimp at the grocery store, it's like product of Peru or Argentina. Still, I mean, you learn something. It's literally their second export. Number one export, being the country that everyone remembers is on the equator. Man, fuck you. The majority of the money the Maritimes make are lobsters. Don't make me do it. Don't make me turn against my brother. Okay? That's like saying, I'm not going to say it, okay? You're not going to make me hate the Atlantic provinces when you're probably from Ohio, aka Manitoba. I'm not going to debase myself. All Canadians are my brothers, except for most of Alberta. No disrespect. And a lot of northern BC. And much of Ontario, provincially, at least. Okay, hang on. Let me see what people responded to. All right, we got 3 at least. I will say I will be a little mad if Chibley's not on time, because he's the guy who specifically told me to run it an hour early, because it would, in his words, no problem. It would be no problem. Okay, that's fine. We'll see. Is that the last doll? That's the last doll, man. Except now we